so epic.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And you see, we got my guy, Freddie. Freddie, what's good with you, man?
Hey man, listen. Playoff time is coming around. All right. Yesterday, my Knicks just pulled off a win. I think Jalen Brunson is making a case to be an MVP candidacy in place of somebody, but we ain't got to go there, man. I'm a happy guy today. That's pretty much what I'm saying.
That's so crazy. Look, Freddie, I'm gonna be sleep on it. Okay, I'm gonna be sleep on it. That's
All right,
right.
keep
That's right.
sleeping.
We lost, but I still represent my boys. You know how we do. It's the Blue Devils, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Blue Devils.
My condolences.
Hey, it's whatever. We still got that ring. You see, ooh, we ready at all times. We ready at all times. But look, right? The Memphis Grizzlies expectations. Now, we did have Ja Morant and his 3 to 4 issues in the span of one season. Matter of fact, 2 of them were like within the span of 4 days. All right, July 22nd to July 26th. Like it's, I don't even want to talk about the issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just what are your expectations of the Grizzlies going forward? Like, do you expect them to trade Ja Morant? Because I mean, all the way back to last season, they've been winning with and without Ja Morant. And then this season, they've been winning with and without. Matter of fact, technically, they were losing with Ja. Did not have Steven Adams. Then Ja's gone. Lose Brandon Clark, and they're winning. So, like, should you trade Ja Morant? Is that an expectation of the Memphis Grizzlies? Because again, he is an eyesore right now, technically.
Hey, it's too bad Reese ain't out here to hear this, but listen, Boston could offer Memphis Jason Tatum for Ja Morant, and Memphis will tell them, hell no. You're not getting rid of Ja Morant, man. Listen, he's a superstar, one of the premier players in the league. He's shown that he can show up big in playoffs. He's changed that whole culture around in Memphis. His teammates love him. He's just going through a tough stretch. But we've seen superstars in the past go through tough stretches off the court, and their organization stand behind them. So I think he'll be fine. He just got to get out of this super thug phase that he's going through, and he'll be fine. But Memphis ain't getting rid of Ja. Ja is way too valuable. You see Nike's even stand behind him, right? They're saying, I forget what their statement was they came out with, but Memphis needs Ja. Ja needs Memphis. It's a marriage that right now they're having a rough stretch, but they'll get through and they're going to be great for years to come. So you can't. I feel like that.
I feel like I would keep him, but at the same time, I would also entertain the possibility. I would look at the trades like that were offered because, like you said, Ja Morant is a superstar. I also view him as a high risk superstar too. The way his game is, he is injury prone too. So I mean, I've seen players like D Rose. So maybe you can sell while the stock's really high and get a huge haul.
Let me ask you, and get what though? Like, what type of trade package would you think would be? Because you said injury prone. I think that's kind of in today's league. I think he's fine. Today's league, he's not Mikal Bridges who plays every day, every game, but. I think he plays enough every single season to where his impact is felt, and I don't think the chemistry is lost. You know what I'm saying? But what would you trade him for?
I would, if I'm looking at Ja, I'm thinking a wing because you have Triple J, and maybe a backup center just because Steven Adams is not going to be there all the time, right? I'm not. I need what is it? Santini, whatever his name is,
Santi,
Alderman. Yeah, Alderman. Like he cool, but I mean he's not a backup big where I need him to protect the rim. He seems more like the
opposite. Xavier Tillman's been playing tough. I mean he's I think he's about 6'8" maybe, but
yeah, I'm about to say I think he's a little undersized for me. Like him and Brandon Clark gonna be around the same height. You do get Brandon Clark back, but now I'm wondering what Brandon Clark looks like too off the injury. So I'm thinking maybe those two pieces. Because I like Tyus Jones as a point guard.
I love
like. You know what I mean? So hey,
Tyus and Trey, man.
Talk to me. That's him. This is his.
Let him join.
So I think they can let him go, but I don't necessarily believe you trade Ja Morant for anything like a Jason Tatum type. Like I need a really strong package in order to let go of Ja Morant. So I mean, I would entertain it, but I'm not looking to trade Ja Morant. But let me ask you this though:
No, I was
Do
just
you
gonna say
think this?
one quick thing. The only reason why I haven't even my mind hasn't even gone there yet is because it's not the organizational situation. You know, the organization still loves him, that chemistry there. So once that becomes fractured, I think that's gonna open up more conversations for that. But right now, it seems like they're all good with him still. It seems
Okay,
like.
okay, I got you. I'm gonna put him on spot here because he came in a little late. Byron, are you back?
Yeah, what's going on, fellas?
Big dog.
Not much, man. Not much. How's everything with you?
Good about yourself?
Pretty good. Can't complain, man. Can't complain. We're looking to hear a little controversy, so I'm glad you participated. We got through most of the quick takes, and we about to hit the NFL portion in a little bit. But right now, we're talking about the Memphis Grizzlies and the expectations. Real quick, what's your thoughts? Since I know you're the same person who said Chris Webber's a bum. Should the Memphis Grizzlies trade Ja Morant or look to trade Ja Morant?
That's perfect. Yeah, as I said, yeah, man. Appreciate being here. Things like that. Should they trade Ja Morant?
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not. I think Ja Morant is a young player. Very young, super young, talented guy. I think he's around the wrong people. I don't think he's necessarily a bad person. I think his outside influences have kind of matriculated themselves onto the scene. I think his outside resources or people have kind of matriculated themselves around him. It's interesting though because it comes up this year. After he starts, gets a shoe contract, gets the money. This all happens, and I'm sure this has been happening for at least a year or so. So I'm curious to kind of see how all this kind of unfolded itself, and also what else that we don't know that the team know and that the NBA knows. So I wouldn't trade him. I think he's doing the right thing by getting help by taking the time away. So I wouldn't trade him.
I do question if I appreciate him getting help. I do question if 8 days or 8 games is enough time to get enough help. Like that, it does seem like a little rush. I can understand, you got a job, but you need to get your help first. Let me ask y'all this really quickly, and then we'll move on to another topic. Does this make Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. the leaders of the Memphis Grizzlies?
It's crazy because you know how I feel about this player. But right now, what I've been seeing since all of this controversy, I've been down on him. His numbers were down for a while this year. And in the face of controversy, this guy has seemed to have stepped his game up, been more vocal. Dillon Brooks, again, I've been tough on this guy. I still think Bane is currently their best player. I think he's that non-vocal leader, right, by demonstration. But I think Dillon Brooks, just being that defensive presence, still holding on that. He takes on that Memphis grit and grind type of, Tony Allen type of, energy with the offense. So his increase in play and just efficiency on both sides of the court, I think, has been what has helped them thrive in the absence of Ja Morant. So, I mean, as far as leadership, I'll give it to, Brooks and Bane as their two guys, one vocal, the other by demonstration, right? But then I think ultimately we just talked about Tyus before Byron got on, man. Tyus Jones as that somewhat, I'm not going to say veteran, but he poses as a veteran leader, floor general. I think that matters as well, that they have that. If they had a young 2-year hyper point guard like a Bones Highland or somebody like that, I don't think it would work. But since they have a guy like Tyus back there who really can control the game, right, slow things down, get people into their sets, not do too much, right? I think that's really helping them, as it did last year in absence of Ja Morant.
Okay.
So to answer your question, let me give Dillon Brooks the most credit for stepping up his leadership. But I think ultimately they have a bunch of guys on that team that are showing leadership in different ways.
Okay. Byron, do you have anything else to add to that statement? Do you differ? Is it the same, or you're on mute right now?
I think John Morant is still the leader. Um, Not because he's the most talented player on that team. I just think he has the most influence in a way. And I feel like him making his mistakes early on could be detrimental or could be really advantageous to the team. I think, if he's able to kind of alleviate some of his external things, like um, with the gun and strip club and punching kids, stuff like that. Like, I think for him, he made a mistake, but I don't think mistakes define people. And, it's kind of not what happens, but how you respond to it. So I think for him, I want to see how he responds to this adversity because I think it can really not only help the Memphis Grizzlies, but also help the NBA as a whole because he is very influential and he is a leader. So I think he's still the leader. He's not physically there on the court, but from the reports, they said he's still FaceTiming guys and talking to guys. So he seems like he's still involved. So I would say he's still the leader. I would say so.
Okay. Okay. I It's weird because like on teams you can have three captains, stuff like that. Dylan Brooks, sometimes I question should he be the leader. I like Desmond Bain as a leader because he does come off more mature than the other guys. With Triple J, I can't give him the leadership, bro. He was just the first person that came to mind. You know what I'm saying? Like the most talented on the team now, maybe since Jaws off. And technically, like it, it, it's interesting. I do like the Tyus part as a leader as well. I do understand why you say John Morant should be the leader also. I'm kind of glad he's going through an ordeal now, getting out of the way. Like maturing him up a little bit. Hopefully, he takes this a lot more seriously, and maybe that also translates to a game too. So I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to see, just the growth from it. If he doesn't grow from this, both outside of the court and on the court, I think for me, I can't as electrifying as Ja is. I wouldn't want him on my team personally. Again, if you can't grow from this situation, that means you don't really want it. You don't understand what's at stake. So,
yeah, how old is Ja right now? About what, 23, 20? He's younger than Tatum.
I think.
Yes, I mean he's still young. Yeah, he's still young. He may still make a couple mistakes here. As long as he's not making the same mistakes early on, you know what I'm saying? He's a super young kid. From, I'm not gonna say nothing, but come from an environment, right, to where he's finally out of that. But how quickly do you grow out of that, right? They say the average man matures at the age of 35. He's growing up right in front of the eyes of everyone, right, on the national stage. A lot handed to him at once. So again, my biggest thing is don't make the same mistake over and over again. But at some point, you got to stop making mistakes. You got 9 figures on the line. You got a whole family and a bunch of others that who are dependent on you to be your best self. But it kind of goes to what Byron said. You got to have the right people around you that can help you make those better decisions as well. And I think starting with your father, and I don't think his father is a bad guy at all, or is even misleading him, excuse me. But I think that's going to be the guy that's closest to his heirloom. Hey, yo, check yourself here, let me give you some game here. So, but I think Josh's going to be all right. I don't think you'll have a repeat of, oh, man, he's in this now, he's in that. So.
Yeah, and I just to comment on what Freddie said, if you don't mind, Trey. I would say you kind of seen this coming though. If you look at the Memphis Grizzlies kind of identity, if you will, right? They're trying to be this bad boy, this forget everybody else, F everybody else mindset. In reality, you see how, his interactions with Shannon Sharp or interactions with different, individuals in the crowd, with even with John Morant, how he's interacting with fans. I'm not saying these fans aren't doing things outrageous, but you can kind of see itself really where we kind of ignored it. We're like, oh, okay, that's their persona. But in reality, they they feed off of that. Like they feed off of Ja's
It carries and
yeah, like they feed off of that. So
going back to
so do you
Iguodala.
think?
yeah,
I wonder if that's going to change the team in terms of like the energy, what they're going to look like now. It's almost like a new acquisition in a sense, and it's crazy because he's been up there for a minute now. It's wild. It's wild. Speaking of new acquisitions, though, fellas, I gotta ask y'all this, right? Y'all both like football.
See what happened last time. We ain't gotta talk about it though. Byron a good man. We ain't gotta talk about it.
Hey, at the end of the day, I'm not a Dak fan regardless. And Rodgers
You
can't
look like him. That's okay. That's okay. I feel you.
Oh,
no,
man.
fellas, I greatly appreciate y'all on the show. We definitely got to do this again. Do you guys have anything you want to say before we close up shop?
No, man. See you later, right?
Yeah, I would say, man, definitely looking forward to playoffs, NBA playoffs, how they kind of unfold themselves last week. So we'll kind of see how that kind of plays off.
MVP race.
Yeah, MVP race. So I'll kind of talk about that. So I'm looking forward to that next conversation.
Come on, man.
Definitely. Yeah, no, we will definitely get all that covered. So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all stay tuned. And till next time, take care.
Oh, I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.